While the overview grids provide an overview or a high-level view of all of the testing that has been done and is coming up for the instruments in a safety instrumented system, there's a lot of value in looking at the details of testing and a history of testing. You can access that by clicking on the hyperlink for the tag of any particular instrument. So if I click on PT101D, I'm going to bring up the test details dialog box. Now the test details dialog box has two parts, a top portion and a bottom portion. The top portion contains identification information for that particular instrument. A lot of this has been carried over from previous steps in the safety instruments system lifecycle, but the two new items that are unique to this page are date commissioned and date decommissioned. It's important to put a commission date. That's the date that you put the device into service, or the first time that you tested the device, or even the first time that you performed a test on the device that you began tracking. It's essentially going to be the starting point for data accumulation and data collection that we're going to use in subsequent phases of the safety lifecycle to verify that the actual performance of the instrumentation matches the assumptions that were made during the design process. Putting a number into that commission, a date into that commission field also starts all of the testing functionality in terms of tracking, reporting, and emails reminding you that testing needs to be done. There's also a decommissioning field, which is the date that a device is removed from service. Now, when a device is removed from service, you want to make sure to retain the records of that device so you don't delete it from the database. That information is very valuable. What you're going to want to do is decommission that device and then create a new one for the new device that gets installed as a replacement. And when you decommission a device, you'll see that the light turns green, taking it, or the light turns gray, taking it out of the testing process. Now on the bottom is a table of all the test records that are available for a particular device. So you'll see that in this case, I have two records for this device showing a test on March 14th of 2017 and a test on August 15th of 2016. If you want to add a new test, you simply click the Add New Test button and put in information regarding the date and the result of the test. If it's passed, that's all the information that you really need. You might want to put some notes about the test. Also, you can have a failed test, and if you fail a test, you're going to want to document which portion of the subsystem actually failed. Was it the device itself? Was it the process connection? Or was it some sort of interface device? So what portion failed and what was its failure mode? You can select something like dangerous detected, and then you could put some notes in that might describe what the failure was. So for this pressure transmitter, we can say something like taps plugged. And of course, if we said taps plug, that would be a process connection portion failure, and we can insert that into the list of all the tests that have occurred. So you can enter new ones, or you can enter information about old tests that have been either passed or failed. Now this information is then going to be used in, again, the subsequent portions of the life cycle, where we're going to look at the duration of service of all the SIS equipment, and we're going to tally up all of the failures that have occurred for that type of device in the plant, and use those summary statistics to help us validate the failure rate data that we're using in our SIL verification calculations.